Hi everyone, this is Sunil Nayak. Welcome to my channel Chess King. Today in this video we are going to learn about how to play chess. In this video I am going to talk about how you can play chess in a very easy method. If you want to learn chess, then this is the video for you. I will show you how to set up the board and all the chess rules, like how the pieces moves and passant rule, pawn promotion, castling, checkmate, stalemate, etc. I will teach you everything about chess, and at the same time I will try to keep this video as much as simple so that anyone can understand. But before starting this video I want to say something. If you are a chess player and want to become a better chess player in future, then you can subscribe to my channel and like my video so that whenever I make videos you will get all the notification of my videos. And also, if you are first time in my channel, you can also subscribe to my channel and like my videos and share these videos with your friends so that they can also watch my videos and learn chess. Okay, so let's go to the board and start learning chess. So this is the chessboard guys, and without any pieces over here. At the beginning of chess learning, you need to remember one thing. You have to set the board in such a manner so that the white color square should be in the right side bottom of the corner, so that each player will have the light color square at the bottom right side corner. Now coming to the pieces, the second row of the board is set for the pawns, and the first row should be set up as follows. Now the first piece on the chessboard is the rook. Rook belongs to the corner of the chessboard, like this. Knight belongs next to the rook, like this. And remember, this is knight, not horse. In chess we call it knight instead of horse. Then next to the knight we have bishops, like this. After this we have to place the queen on her matching color, like this. The black queens placed on the black color and the white queen should be placed on the white color of the board. And then it is the final time for the king. The king comes to the remaining square, like this. Once you have set up the board correctly, the pieces should be focusing once to each other. The queen should be focusing to the queen and the king should be focusing on the king. That's how it should be. You should also set the chessboard like this. Player with white pieces always make the first move, and then black plays its move. Each player will play the alternative moves until the game ends. Now each of the 6 pieces has their unique piece of movement. Now let us learn how they move. We will start the piece which is easiest to understand, and that is the rook. The rook moves in a plus symbol manner, which means it can move any number of squares but should be horizontal or vertical way. The left, right, top or down, as highlighted in this picture. You can also capture the enemy piece. To capture with the rook, you simply have to move the rook and capture the black piece. You just have to place the rook over there, and then the piece will be removed. Now let's talk about the bishops. Bishop can move diagonally or in X pattern, just like this. In this position, this bishop can move any of the squares as highlighted in this picture. Bishop can also capture the enemy piece, how they move into. Now let's go and look into the queen. Now the queen is considered most powerful piece of the chessboard because it can move both like bishop as well as rook, which means it can move any number of squares vertically, diagonally or horizontally, like this. From this position, the queen can move any of the squares as highlighted here. Let's talk about the knights now. Now the knights move in the shape of L, like this. 2 moves in one direction and then left or right, just like this. From this position, knight can move any of the squares as highlighted here. And also remember, the knight is the only piece which can jump on the other pieces also. For example, if there is any piece here next to the knight, he can simply jump over the pieces, like this. If there is any other piece in the highlighted square, the knight can capture also. Now let's talk about the pawns. The pawn is one of the most complicated piece in the chessboard because it has most unique quality. The pawn is the only piece who moves in the one direction and capture in the other direction, which is completely different direction. Pawns move one step forward towards the opponent side of the board. But remember, if it is their first move, it can move one step forward like this, or else it can go 2 square also in the first move. And one more thing need to remember here, after his first move, the pawn can only move one step after this. like this. For example, you have moved here your pawn, then afterwards you can only move one step forward. You cannot move two squares from the third ring. Now let's see one more quality of the pawn. For example, the white has moved its pawn to here and black has moved here. Now these two pawns are stuck. Now they cannot move each other and also they cannot capture like this. Remember what I had told earlier, the pawns move one step forward and while capturing they capture in a completely different direction, that is diagonal way. And now for these pawns there is no legal move right now. But if you see this example, these pawns have their extra moves like this, they can capture and the pawn can go to the other square also. Now let's learn about the pawn promotion. What happens if a pawn moves like this and once it reaches over here to the last rank of the opponent side of the board, then it is called the pawn promotion. Now let's learn the pawn promotion. Once this pawn is able to reach to the last rank of the board, then this pawn will be able to turn into the queen, rook, bishop as well as knight also. So players can take any of the pieces as per their requirement. Like this, if this pawn goes to the last rank, then it can become a queen also. Like this, or you can also take the rook. If not, you can also bring the bishop or knight. You can promote it to any of the four pieces. It's completely your choice. Now let's talk about the king. This is the most important piece on the chessboard. The objective of chess is to checkmate the king. The king is priceless because if you lose the king, then you can simply lose the game. Now talking about the movement of the king moves one square at a time, but in all direction. Like this. From this position, the king can go to any of the squares as highlighted here. Whenever a move is being threatened to the king by the opponent player, the player should say check. So the term checks, it simply means that the king is being attacked by the opponent's piece. Like this. For example, in this position, if black rook goes to e8 and this is a check because rook are threatening the white's king here and giving a check. Now white king has to do something about it. To get rid of the check, you have the three steps. Once you can move your king from the check, or else you can block the check by any of your pieces, or you can simply capture the checking piece. In this example, white can do any of the three things. For example, white king can go simply to any of the square to get rid of the check. Also, it can capture the black rook which is threatening the white king, or else the bishop can come to e2 here in order to block the check. Like this. Here, this is one more example of doing the checkmate. When you are under check and simply you cannot move anywhere, then this is called checkmate. Like this, if rook moves to h1 and it gives check, the white king is not able to go anywhere because the moves which it can go, it is already guarded by the black king. Now, sometimes the chess game also ends in a draw. For example, if black king moves to g3, this is considered as a stalemate because thereafter the white king won't be able to move anywhere because these all squares are already guarded by the black queen, and also there is no other legal move for this pawn. That is why this position is known as stalemate, or it is a drawn position. Stalemate happens under the certain circumstances when the king is not in the check and king doesn't have any other legal move, and also its pieces cannot move. In this position, white is stalemate because white doesn't have any of the legal moves and also its pawn cannot move any square. That is why it's a stalemate. Now the game can also be drawn by the insufficient materials. Here in this position, white and black king is there on the chessboard and white has only a single knight. A single knight is considered to be a drawn position because a single knight cannot do the checkmate. Similarly, in this position, it's a king versus king and a bishop. This position is also a draw because this bishop won't be able to do the checkmate the black king. Now let's talk about the special rule in chess, that is end rule. In this position, it is black to move. If black pawn moves one step forward, then the white pawn can capture it, since the pawn can capture diagonally. The same pawn, instead of one square, let's say it goes two squares forward. to avoid this pawn from capturing it. Now here comes the n% rule. The n% rule says the white pawn has still the ability to capture this black pawn. So in this position, white pawn can still capture the black pawn as if it is only one square forward, like this. And this has to be done by a player right next to it, otherwise he will lose his rights to the n%. There is also a special move in chess that is called castling. For castling, you need to have king and rook. In this position, it is the only time where you can move two of the pieces at one time. In this position, the king can move towards to the h rook and the rook can be placed towards to the white king, and this is called castling. And this is also called short side castling or king side castling because the king has done the castling in the king side. Similarly, you can also do the castling long side as well, like this, and this is called queen side castling. For this, what we have to do is the king has to go towards the a file rook, and now the a file rook will come to the opposite side of the king, and this is called queen side castling. And to do the castling, remember guys, you have to do it once, and before the castling both king and rook should not be moved. It has to be their first move for the castling. However, there are some more rules for the castling. In this position, black rook is giving check to the white king, so the white king cannot do the castling anymore here because there is a rule: if king under check, then king cannot perform the castling. Also, if any of the pieces blocking the way of castling, then also castling cannot be performed. But remember, this king cannot castle king side. However, it can do on the queen side because the black piece is only controlling the king side, not the queen side. That is why the king can jump over here and do the castling. Now this is all over guys for the chess rules and how to play chess. Now you have learned how to play chess and you know the rules of chess, how to set up the chessboard, how to move the pieces, how the n% rule working, how the castling is working. And now let me know in the comment box below if I missed something here. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like my videos. Thank you guys. Till then, bye and see you in my next video.